Thank you. Good afternoon. Today, we are here to alert the public and seek assistance locating a sex offender wanted by police who has recently been identified as the suspect in an ongoing indignity to a human body investigation. Réjean Hermel Perron, P-E-R-R-O-N, has a history of sexual assault against women and is currently wanted on a Canada-wide warrant for breaching his parole conditions. We believe he may be exploiting vulnerable and marginalized people in Toronto, including sex workers, underhoused persons, and members of the 2S LGBTQ+ community. Perron is 52 years old and may also use the name of Daniel Joseph Christie, with Christie being spelt 3 different ways, with a C or with a K. He is described as a white male, 5 foot 2 inches tall, with dark hair, blue eyes, and a thin build, with possibly a pockmarked complexion. In 2015, Perron was arrested and charged by the Toronto Police Service for sexual assault with a weapon, kidnapping and forcible confinement, and assault. After serving a custodial sentence, he was released in 2021 on parole. In 2021, the Provincial Repeat Offender Parole Enforcement Squad, or the ROPE Squad, appealed to the public for help locating Perron after he breached his parole conditions, and a Canada-wide warrant was issued for his arrest. Despite extensive efforts to find Perron, he remained undetected until recently, when he was identified by officers at 55 Division and our Forensic Identification Unit as a part of this indignity to a human body investigation. On Monday, May 27, police attended an apartment in the Broadview and Dundas Street East area as part of a missing person investigation. In the apartment, officers located a deceased person. After examination by the coroner, it had been determined that the deceased died from natural causes. On June 10, 2024, Toronto Police issued a news release asking for the public's help in identifying a suspect who we allege was aware that a deceased person was inside the apartment but did not notify police and actively tried to hide the body. This individual, who was seen using the deceased person's door fob to enter the building and attend the apartment, has since been identified as Réjean Perron. Until this disturbing incident, there has been no sign of Perron for a number of years. Police are deeply concerned that he may be sustaining himself by exploiting vulnerable individuals, as he did in this case. He remains wanted on a Canada-wide warrant for breaching his parole conditions related to his sentence for the sexual assault and forcible confinement in 2015. Toronto Police believe Perron poses a threat to public safety, particularly women and vulnerable individuals. We are requesting your assistance in locating him as quickly as possible. We believe that Perron is still in the Toronto area and frequents the downtown east side of the city. He is also known to have spent time in Kingston after his release and in the Chatham area. We believe people have seen Perron, and in particular, we are seeking help from those people who work with vulnerable people in these communities. No tip is too small or insignificant. If you see him or have any information about his whereabouts, please contact police at 416-808-5500 or contact Toronto Crime Stoppers anonymously at 416-222-TIPS. For those members of the public that would like to provide information relating to this individual or have concerns, we invite you to also engage through our 2S LGBTQ+ liaison officers, Sergeant Rob Chevalier and Constable Cheryl Taylor. They can be reached through our Community Partnership and Engagement Unit at 416-808-7070. I encourage Réjean Perron to seek legal counsel and turn himself in immediately. Thank you, and I will now take questions.
How did you come to this latest deceased person and then make the connection to this individual?
We made the connection from the deceased to Perron through our forensic identification of the apartment.
Can you tell us anything about the deceased, their age or gender?
No, unfortunately, I do not want to identify the deceased at this time, and so I can't discuss any of those personal identifiers, which is why I've specifically kept it vague.
But you said that the person died of natural causes and was found in May, at the end of May, but why was he in the unit with them? Why do you believe that he was hiding the body?
Well, he had befriended our deceased, and they were known to be seen together frequently. He was using his alias of Christie, Daniel Joseph Christie, and members in the community, and particularly the building that the deceased lived in, would see them together very often.
Can you speak to the people who are most at risk and who you're most concerned for right now with this person walking around our streets? Sure.
We are concerned about vulnerable persons. We're concerned about particularly women, given the past history of Perron, and given the vulnerabilities of our deceased. We're concerned for members of the LGBTQS+ community at this time. So we are really hoping that individuals working within the social services that provide service to those communities may recognize Perron, not knowing his name. He may possibly be going by other aliases that we're unaware of. So, I ask that people look at the photo very closely. We have surveillance photos that were released in previous media releases where he is wearing a baseball cap and a mask on his face. It may be that he is deliberately trying to conceal his identity as he's wanted on a Canada-wide warrant. So I would encourage people to think about that, and if they may have encountered him, to let us know.
So there's a Canada-wide warrant. How long have you been looking for this person, even before this latest case?
In 2021, Perron breached his parole conditions, and a Canada-wide warrant was issued. Our ROPE squad issued a press release in 2021 that was picked up by many of the mainstream media outlets asking for public's assistance in locating him. And he has essentially been off the grid until this investigation.
How long had the deceased been dead when police were there to make him dead? Is there an estimate?
There is, and I know, but I'm not going to discuss that now, as it is an integral part of our investigation. Perhaps at a later time, but for today, I can't discuss that.
And the charges for leaving the human body, that stems from just leaving the body in the unit, but you don't suspect that there's anything else with the body, nothing suspicious otherwise?
So we allege the indignity to the human body is concealing the body within the apartment in the manner that it was concealed. So I can't get into the specifics of exactly how it was concealed. However, there were deliberate steps taken to conceal and hide the body in the apartment.
What's the original missing persons investigation?
The deceased's worker, who would normally have contact with the deceased, missed a regular appointment and called police.
An employer? The employer of the deceased?
No, a worker, like a community support worker. Mm-hmm.
Where is he from? Where else might you be looking for him? Are there other police services? As you said, there's a warrant across the country, so does he have connections in Quebec, BC, anywhere?
So Perron was born, we believe, outside of Timmins. He was incarcerated at Bath in Kingston and has had contact with authorities, obviously, in Kingston once released. We also understand him to have, in the past, frequented the Chatham-Kent area. So we have been in touch with those police services in those areas to alert them.
Maybe targeting the vulnerable. Was this person who he was living with and had died in a vulnerable situation?
Yes. We believe that our deceased, being part of the 2S LGBTQ+ community and other factors contributed to their vulnerability. And Perron left Bath Institution with no government ID. There are no bank accounts. There is no way for us to actually trace him. We don't know how he's supporting himself. So, we suspect that he is preying on vulnerable individuals to make his way through life while he is wanted on this Canada-wide warrant.
Any other questions? I guess just maybe lastly, just, again, your message to the public. I mean, I'm reading about this person who's clearly a danger based on his past crimes. So what is the message right now to the public about looking for this man?
We ask that people be diligent, particularly vulnerable community members. Safety tips when you're out alone. We don't want to alarm the public, but we want to alert the public, and we want the public to be aware of who is around them. And if someone looks like this individual or the photos that we have released from our surveillance footage, call us. Call Crime Stoppers, call 55 Division, call our 2S LGBTQ+ liaison officers, call anyone within our service. If we investigate someone and it turns out not to be that individual, I would rather do that 1,000 times over than miss some information that might lead us to locating and arresting Perron.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes our news conference.